Hey, what's up guys? Sloth King here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to store your vehicle for the wintertime. And I'm going to be doing this on my '89 Toyota Supra. This will work for pretty much every single car, but I'm just going to be doing it on mine. Anyway, so for the wintertime, I'm not going to be driving my car just because if it snows or whatever, I don't want to get into an accident. And I'm pretty sure if you guys have a project car as well, you're going to be storing it. So there's a few different things that you need to do. One, you need to put a fuel stabilizer in your fuel tank. That will keep the fuel from going bad and from having any kind of water buildup in it and cause like some rust if you have a metal gas tank. And then second, there's going to be this fogging oil that I'm going to use, and it pretty much just coats the inside of your engine and it prevents any kind of corrosion from building up if you're storing it for a few months. These are the products I'm using. STA-BIL fuel storage and then STA-BIL fogging oil. So I'm gonna start up the car, get it warm. Oh wow, this train is awesome. So first thing we're gonna wanna do is just go get some gas, put that in there when you're filling it up. Now I have how big is this thing? This is 8 ounces, so it treats up to 20 gallons. So I'm gonna put the whole thing in there because I have about an 18.5 gallon gas tank, and this will be just enough. Let's go get some gas, throw that stuff in there, fill it up, and then let's come back here and then prep the vehicle and I'll show you guys what to do. So let's get into it. All right, so if you guys have a Supra, which I assume you guys do since you're watching this, but this is majority for other vehicles as well. I have not started my car in about 3 weeks. So I'm going to open this up, take out this fuse. This is to prevent my any fuel from going into the engine and it won't start, because I'm going to be priming just the oil a little bit because I'm pretty sure it just settled. So I just want to get a little pressure. There we go. Everything is coated. Let's pop that fuse back in and then start her up and let it warm up for a minute or two before we drive. Oh, there goes my hood. I need new struts. Dang. That took a minute. Wow, 90 PSI. Dang, that oil is cold. Yeah, it's been like, it got down to like 26 for a few nights. Wow. Yep. So I'm gonna let this warm up and then we're gonna go take a drive and get some gas and then start doing this whole stuff. All right, so if we look at the back, wow, this is not going to focus. Really? Well, I just want to point out that right here it says put the desired amount in, run engine for 5 minutes after adding product in order to treat the entire fuel system, and it says product does not contain alcohol. So within the 5 minutes, like that 5-minute mark, I'll be able to drive back here, pull the car in, and then park it, and then it should treat the whole entire fuel system. All right, so let's get over there and fill it up. I have to bend this back because someone tried jacking up my car, so I need 2 hands. All right, got her all in. Now let's fill it up.
One eternity later.
All right, it's all added in, and let's go ahead and drive back and get the rest of the stuff all prepped. All right, guys, I just got back to the storage unit, and the car was running for about 10 minutes. So now we're going to be spraying the fogging oil inside of the engine, which is this stuff right here. So what we have to do with this, on the can it says to have the engine running, you take off your air filter, and then you spray into the intake for about 10 seconds. So my air filter is kind of wonky to take off, and my mass airflow sensor, it's not a traditional mass airflow sensor, so I don't want to like damage the sensor because these things are super temperamental. So what I'm going to do, I have a port on my throttle body that I'm just going to unplug and then spray this into, which is right back here. For you Supra guys, you can do this. Just take off this port, spray it in there, or take off this one, whichever, and then just spray this stuff in there. And then for you regular people that have a regular air intake that doesn't have a wonky sensor, you can just go ahead and spray this in there. So let's get the car running, and then let's do that. All right, I got that port off, and let's go ahead and spray this. It actually might be kind of difficult. I might need to use this other one so I can put the tube inside of here. All right, I got it all hooked up. Let's do this for 10 seconds. Oh, that killed it. All right, so plan B, I'm not spraying it into there. I took off the hose from my blow-off valve, and then I'm just going to put it inside of this tube. So let's see if it kills the engine that way. Well, since the Supra is kind of wonky, I'm just going to spray this a few times, just like this. Oh, it's literally just liquid. Oh, that's why it's dying. Okay, that should be enough. Now, let's shut off the car. All right, I didn't know the Supra would be that temperamental to this stuff. Maybe you guys will have a better experience than I did. Okay, so after running the engine for 10 seconds, shut the engine off. Next, we're going to remove the spark plugs and spray the fogging oil into each cylinder. And then we're going to turn the engine over to distribute the fogging oil and then put the spark plugs in. So when it says turn the engine over, like don't start it. So do the same thing, like unplug your EFI, which is your fuel injectors, the fuse, unplug that, and then go ahead and crank the engine for a few seconds. So I got to take off all this stuff on top to get my spark plugs out. So let me do that, and then we'll get back into spraying it in there, because you guys don't need to see me do that. The Supra guys, you already know how to take all this stuff off, but for everyone else, your application is going to be completely different to access all your spark plugs. So give me 10 minutes, and then let's finish this up. All right, guys, I got all of these spark plugs out. Got them in order right there. And then now let's go ahead and spray some oil into each cylinder, and then crank it over, and then put the spark plugs back in. Make sure you aim right down into the cylinder I think a couple spritz in each one is going to be fine. There we go. Let's take out our EFI fuse. And let's crank it over for a couple seconds. Apologize, it's so dark in here. My interior light quit working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. It will crank so much faster without your spark plugs in there. That way it doesn't like build up compression inside of the cylinders. That's why I just did it for like 5 or 6 seconds. Now that's all done. All you got to do is put your spark plugs back in, put everything back together. Make sure you torque your spark plugs to the specified amount, or get them hand tight and then tighten them up and then go like a quarter turn afterwards. And that'll be enough. So yeah, let me do that, and then there's just like 2 more things we have to do left. So I'll be right back. And by the way, for those of you that don't have it already, you should pick up a spark plug socket. It will either have a magnet or a rubber grommet in there, so that way when you go and put your spark plug in there, it won't fall out. It will keep it inside the socket. And this is what I mean by a quarter turn after, for those of you that have never done this. For those of you that have, you can skip to the next part. So put your socket, spark plug in. We're going to bring it all the way down, hand tight, until it stops right there. Put our ratchet on, and watch my ratchet. So we're going to tighten it a little bit more. Okay, that's snug. Now we're just going to move the ratchet a quarter turn after. Right there. And that's as tight as you want to go. So do that for all of your spark plugs, and then you will be done. All right, guys, so last 2 things to do. The last one is kind of optional, but this next one is pretty crucial. You're going to disconnect your battery, and they actually make this kill switch that goes on the positive terminal that you just flip the switch and it kills all the power to it. And then for the winter time, you want to keep your battery on a battery tender. This will keep it so that way the voltage doesn't drop, and then your battery cells don't get damaged from being at a low voltage. So since I'm in a storage unit, I'm going to completely disconnect the battery and bring it back home. That way I can hook it up to my battery tender. But what you guys want to do is you can literally hit the kill switch on the positive terminal, and then you can hook up your battery terminal, and then you can just keep it inside your car if you want to. So that's pretty crucial. We don't want to damage our battery and then buy a new one. And the last one is optional for you guys that have multiple, 2 sets of jack stands. What you want to do, you want to put your car up on all 4 jack stands just to keep your tires from getting flat spots in it. It will just keep the car up off the ground, and it will prolong your tire life. Now, if you guys don't have that stuff, don't fret it. They'll be okay. Well, kind of. But just make sure you know that's one of the side effects of keeping your car sitting for a long period of time. They will have flat spots, and it's pretty much impossible to get those out of your tires. You'll constantly feel like a vibration while driving, and that's usually what it causes. So if you just bought some new tires for your project car and you want to put it away, go get some jack stands. It's worth the money, to be honest. That way you don't have to buy a whole new set of tires. So yeah, I'm going to take out this battery, load it up in the 4Runner, and then go back home and put it on a battery tender. And then I'm just gonna jack up the Supra, put it up on the jack stands. Now, if you guys don't know how to jack up your vehicle, check out this the short I made on it. And you can also check out this other video that I put out on where to put your jack stands on pinch welds. So make sure you check that out. I got the Supra all up in the air. So yeah, there we go. It's all put away for the winter time. Bye, Supra. And for those of you that are watching my channel for Supra stuff, I do have a couple of videos backlogged that I will put out for the time being for the winter. I'm not going to do much Supra content. So just so you know, there are going to be a couple of videos coming out on it. But yeah, stay tuned, watch some other stuff that I'm putting out on my channel. So anyway, this is going to conclude it for me for the night. And I hope you guys found this super helpful to preserve your project car or whatever you're working on. So anyways, if you found this super helpful, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to see more videos like these, and I'll catch you on the next ride.